Good evening, good evening. Welcome all, welcome all. Live tonight. Definitely want to send a big shout out to everyone who's coming on tonight. And we're going to get down. Tonight, we're going to talk about the symbolism of the Order of the Eastern Star. This is dedicated to my sisters. We don't usually talk a lot about our sisters, but today we're going to talk about the symbolism of the Order of the Eastern Star. Symbolism of the Order of the Eastern Star. So if you're coming on tonight, if you are a patron in a chapter, this is going to be for you. If you are a Mason who are looking to become an Eastern Star, this is going to be for you. So I definitely want you to get in because you know what? You're not going to get this no place else. You're not going to find this information no place else. I encourage everyone, when I say something and I give you something, whatever you want to call it, a nugget, information, whatever, go back and see if I'm lying to you or not. And then holler at me. You know, somebody asked me, where did you get your authority from? Tony Muhammad, Tony Hawkins? Well, let me tell you, I got my authority from the most wishful John G. Jones, Grand Lodge, State of California, ancient, free, and accepted Masons. I'm a past patron, grand patron. Okay, I'm a past grandmaster. And also, you know, I serve as an associate patron in one of the chapters, and I serve as a patron in one of the chapters that is working up under the Garden Eden Grand chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star, which is adopted by the most wishful John G. Jones, Grand Lodge, State of California, ancient, free, and accepted Masons. So that's where I get my authority from, and we're gonna roll with it from there. And we're going to enjoy tonight's discussion. So if you are an Eastern Star and you come on tonight, this should be fire for you, you know, and you may be able to teach me something. So I'm always about learning too. If you are a Mason who's looking to become an Eastern Star, this is going to be good for you. You know, if you're a patron in a chapter, this is going to be good for you. Come on a little late tonight. I was watching my girl Michi X. I don't know how many of you know Miss Michi X. That girl is on fire, man. I be watching her. I get so caught up. I get fired. I be wanting to go do some things. She's my type of girl. So I just want to send a big shout out to her. Definitely, I want to send a big shout out to Aries Lodge number 4, working up under the most wishful John G. Jones, Grand Lodge, State of California. To Wishful Master, who's now our sitting Grand Master State, Calvin Sanders. I just want to say thank you and I appreciate you. Also want to send a big shout out um, to Grandmaster Steve Smith for coming on last week. I want to let him know how much I appreciated him, and he got me to think. You know, he really got me to think. But I'm good now, bro. I'm good. I'm looking at changing the whole format of the way we do things here. I was talking to some of the brothers, and you know that's what we're gonna get down. And just so if you are available on Wednesdays, 7 o'clock p.m. Western Pacific time. You know, we're going to be having a conference call on Wednesdays. So if you want to tune in on Wednesdays, conference call is at 7 o'clock. Last night they had one that dealt with the fellow crafter and an apprentice. It was a group discussion. So if you are available and you want to tune in, you want to come on, we're going to make sure that we get that number up for you this evening to come on board and hear what's being done and to get a feel for what we're all about. So this is on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. Conference call every Wednesday. This is information I got from Brother Barry. He's hosting it on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. Once again, conference call. If you want to tune in to get information, we're certainly welcome. This is not a closed session. If you are a Mason, you definitely need to introduce yourself when you come online, and we're gonna make it happen. I need to talk to you. Oh, message restricted. I don't know why that's restricted. But come on back, retract it. Well, holler back at me then, Leo. Holler at me, bro. So we're going to get it in tonight. So I want to just welcome everybody who's coming on. Like I said, I know it's kind of late on the East Coast, and we out here on the West Coast. It's just now a little bit after 7, about 7:30 thereabout. So we're going to get right into this. And this is going to deal with the symbolism of the Order of the Eastern Star. We're going to just pour right into it because the Eastern Star in Freemasons, I know a lot of us like to say, that's my sister, that's my brother. But why do we say sister, brother? What is that connection between the Eastern Star and the Freemasons? So, okay, so brother Leo, you want to talk with me about John G. Jones and PHA? Brother, there's no need to talk to me about John G. Jones and PHA. No need at all. It's all gravy. You know, like you put on your chicken and smother it. You know, you can eat it, tastes good, a little salt and pepper. It's all gravy. Nobody needs to call and talk to me about Prince Hall and John G. Jones. That's a dead subject. It's a dead horse. You're hearing it tonight. There's no need to debate who's regular, who's irregular. This is all about education. This is all about getting information out to you. If I want to share something historical with you, I'll do that. If you got information you want to share with me, please do. I'm all open to everything. And we're going to talk about the symbolism of the Order of the Eastern Star. And we're going to also, thank you, appreciate that blessing. We're going to talk about, after we talk about that, then we're going to talk about the word Freemasons. That's going to be very deep, because everybody who walks around call themselves Freemasons ain't having it. It's not that they're not been initiated, passed, and raised, but it's the mindset. So we're going to get right into that. Oh, okay, I'll give you a call, brother. So after tonight, I'll keep an open mind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so after tonight, I'll definitely give you a shout out there, brother Leo. I would do that. So let's get right into this thing we call Eastern Star. Okay, the Eastern Stars, very dynamic group of sisters and ladies. We all know that they are named after 5 herons of the Bible. And the Eastern Stars was really meant to be a Christian organization. You can do your own research on that, and you'll definitely come up with the same thing I came up with. But as time has progressed, it has changed some of its doctrines. And I say doctrines because if a sister who's of another faith wants to become an Eastern Star, she can. I'm not going to say in all jurisdictions. I'm only going to say in this jurisdiction right here. If a sister of another faith wanted to be an Eastern Star, she can. I can't vouch for every jurisdiction, but I will vouch for this one. So just follow me, if you will, as we begin to indulge ourselves in that. So what we're going to look at is Adah. Adah being the first point of the star representing the herons. Adah represents an ideal daughter because of her sense of duty and her devotion to her father. So to guide her actions by her deeds, she exemplified the highest type of obedience. Once again, Adah is the first point of the star. Okay, Adah represented the ideal daughter because of her sense of duty to her sense of duty, her devotion to her father, in her actions, in her deeds. She amplified the highest type of obedience. If you know anything about Adah, Adah meaning ornament. Adah means ornament. Okay. Although the name Adah does not appear in the Bible, it does not appear in the Bible as a source of the story of Jethan's daughter. It is exceedingly appropriate choice. Not only may it be said that Adah, okay, indicates spirit in the faultless character, where her own personal obedience or ornaments, but it may also be said that a daughter who exemplified these virtues was an ornament to her father. Okay, an ornament to her father. And it says a lot in regards to Jethan's daughter. See, Jethan was going to war. And if you are a fellowcraft, you understand that there was a word that was used, and as you try to escape or as you try to leave and to go into Ethiopia, you could not quite say the word correctly. So therefore, you were slain. Okay. Now, at this time of war, Jethan asked God that if you grant me this victory, the first thing I see coming out of my home, or the first thing I see, I will sacrifice. So as he began to win the war, and the war was over, he came back home, and his daughter came out. So he had to make the sacrifice. He had to sacrifice his daughter. All right. So his daughter said, "No, Dad. Yes, you made that promise to God that you would do this," and she did not want him to renege on his promise. Okay, so she then asked him, would it be possible for her to go away for 30 days unto the mountains with her friends? And they celebrated. So he granted her that. But upon returning, he laid her upon the altar. So she was ready to go down. All right. So she was ready to go down. And if you know anything about the star, the canopy deck, the blue sky, see that connection, the blue sky, brothers. All right, as she was laying there looking up, not a cloud in the sky, the Father placed a veil over her face. Okay, and as he placed the veil over her face, he did it 3 times. All right, I'm not going to demonstrate how it was done, but it was done in motions of threes. Okay, and she said to him, the reason she did not want to be killed that way, okay, the reason she didn't want to be killed that way is because she wanted to see. Okay, she wanted to see it. But what was happening? There was a ram in the bush, and the ram ended up being sacrificed and not the daughter. But it doesn't say that, although he clearly stated in biblical, because it's not. These are allegories, these are stories. Okay, these are stories and allegories. All right, so you have to put that in its context when you're dealing with the Masonic work and when you're dealing with Eastern stars, because a lot of things are hidden, and you have to go and find that which is hidden. And this is how you get down. Yep, got me some Kool-Aid tonight. So that's how you get down. So the clear blue of the cloudless sky and the color dedicated to the first star point. Blue, it says, ever the symbol of fidelity, loyalty, intelligence, represents both Adah, excellency, use of her intelligence, and determine the right course of action in her unparalleled loyalty to her father. Okay, she has a flower. All right, the velvet is dedicated to Adah because it is associated with the meekness and humanity. The violet represents the willingness, the subjugation of personal desires and wishes in all orders. The only duty may be properly fulfilled. Okay? Adah, the ideal of the first point are self-sacrifices, okay, integrated in obedience. These ideals are the characteristics may be achieved by illuminating the spirit in the action, typified in the life of Adah. So her life uh, was really the example of sacrifice. Okay, she was willing to give it in. She was willing to say, okay, I'm just going to give it to you because you made that promise. I'm going to help you keep your promise. And she was going to be that sacrifice. So her life story is dedicated to sacrifice. Okay, now let's look at the Bible, which is on the altar in the order of the Eastern Star. The only book on the altar in the order of the Eastern Star is the Bible. Okay, period. Now it says the open Bible is symbol of a deeper meaning, which is to be grasped by the earnest student. From the story of Adah, as each of the herons of the order was selected by a certain phase of their life, born out of similarity to a certain phase in the life of Christ. The reason for the selection of Adah became obvious. As Christ was a sacrifice in order that God the Father might fulfill his desire to save his children, so was Adah was sacrificed to fulfill her father's vow. The open Bible is then the symbol of a larger concept in Adah's life, which is the only word of God that may be directed in an individual the right way to go. Hear what I'm saying? The Bible is the only thing that you will find on the altar of the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, if a sister who is of another faith want to take their obligation, it will be taken upon the book of their faith, but it will not be placed on the altar. Because the Eastern Star is not built that way. It is not. Unless you change that somewhere along the lines in your constitution and bylaws, that is the proper protocol for the Order of the Eastern Star. Period. Okay. Adah also represents spring, the year, because of her life representation of the early womanhood of life. Listen to what I'm saying. Adah represents spring because it is the early representation of her life. Adah wasn't an old woman. Adah was a young lady in the spring of her life. All right. So let's move on. Let's see what else we got. Anybody got any questions tonight? Let's get on it. Okay. So I want, and also while I'm at, I just want to encourage the brothers who are Masons, definitely become an Eastern Star. And then you can have those conversations with her. Definitely become an Eastern Star, for real. All right, so let's talk about their social conductors. Okay, the social conductors is the first officer in the line of progression to the highest office in leadership. The jewel of office, her jewel of office is the emblem, is the baton within the star. The associate conductor's emblem is the baton within the star. The station of the associate conductor is in the north. Remind you, if you are a Mason, there is nothing in the north. Okay? Nothing but a lonely and an apprentice. That's who's on the north. All right? The north. All right? But in the chapter of the Eastern Star, there's an officer. That officer is the conductress. Her emblem is the baton within the star. Okay? The social conductor should be the social conductor should remind each member not only of the necessity of self-discipline in the integrity and personality, but also of the necessary proper discipline within the chapter itself. So the social conductor is almost, if not like, the junior warden in the lodge. You know the junior warden, you know what his job is. And see that, let's see. As the sun is at the meridian height and the glory and beauty of the day, so stands the junior warden in the south to better observe the time, to call a craft from labor to refreshment, and superintend them during the hours thereof. And see, they do not convert refreshments to intemperance, and call them on again in due season, that the wishful master may have pleasure in the craft proper thereby. If I'm not mistaken, I may have missed something. But in the process of that, the associate conductor is very similar to that job. Even though in the lodge, the senior warden is in the south, but in the chapter, the associate conductor is in the north. All right? Okay. So next, we're going to have the associate matron. All right? The associate matron is next is next to the worthy matron in a line of leadership. Okay, so the associate matron is just like your senior warden. Okay, the social matron is just like your senior ward. Just trying to give you an idea of the connection, all right? It's just like your senior ward. She's next in line. The senior warden should be next in line to become the wishful master of the lodge. Okay? Her station is in the west. It is a reflection of the jewel of office of the associate matron. The emblem of the office of the matron is engulfed in the sun. The associate matron should remind each member to constantly seek the reflection of light in her life, even as the officer in the west symbolically reflects light, which originates in the east. So if you are a Mason in the Eastern Star, we all say that we're looking to the east because the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west. So as the senior warden, his job is to assist the wishful master in opening and closing his lodge, right? So we won't go into that. Just like the associate matron, her job is very similar to that of the senior warden. All right. So I hope I'm not losing nobody tonight. I hope that you're with me on this one. Greeting, Brother Maddox. Greeting. Please tell me, why does the sisters tell me that I'm your baby? Wait a minute. I'm taking the Eastern Star's initiation next year. I'm nervous, so to speak. Bruh, you're going to be all right. All right? The sisters going to take care of you, bruh. They're going to take care of you right. If you get initiated, I'm quite sure you're going to do the Lambert. Oh, I'm quite sure of that. And they're going to walk you through each point. And by the time you're over, you're going to have 5 degrees, Brother Maddox. Don't you worry. You're going to have 5 degrees, bruh. You're going to be all right. Yep. Hit the like button. Thank you, Brother Gilmore. As a matter of fact, not only do you hit the like button, you share the station with somebody else. Share this channel with somebody else, because this channel is not like no other channel that you will find dealing with Freemasonry nowhere. Everybody else stuff is stripped. This is not stripped at all. This is raw. This is to the point. This is where I would say where the brothers come together for real information, in my own personal opinion. So if you hit the like button, subscribe, tell somebody about the show, come on, get it. You can either like it or you don't like it. But hey, we're going to get down with the get down. I know that. So let's talk about, oh, brother Gilmore, boy, you ain't even right. But let's get down to get down. So we're going to talk about next, we're going to talk about the associate patron. Okay. There are two male officers in the Eastern Star chapter. One is the associate patron and one is the patron. Okay. And we're going to probably end up talking about both of them tonight. But right now we're going to talk about the associate patron. The associate patron presides with the associate matron in the West. Okay. There's two people in the West. There's the associate matron and then there is the associate patron. Okay. So the associate patron presides with the associate matron in the West. The emblem of the associate patron, check it out, is the star, okay, within the star. Listen to it now. It says the emblem of the associate patron is the star within the star. When the associate patron was placed with the associate matron in the West, the reflection or reflects the ability of the West was symbolically doubled. Okay, the associate patron in the West, she symbolizes to the members the necessities for assisting her own efforts in reflecting life. So the patron, the associate patron, he's going to help assist the sister in reflecting her life. The associate matron emblem is to reflect life. The associate patron is going to help her reflect that life. So you get, like they say, a double dose. You know, as the sun is at its meridian height, that at that peak time. So now you have the associate matron and associate patron in the West, okay, giving like that double light, you know what I'm saying, that blinding light. All right. Okay, there's also something you may want to consider in the Order of the Eastern Stars called the cannibalistic word, or cannibalistic, okay, cannibalistic. Okay, the term cannibalistic reflects or refers to the secret of the ritualistic symbolism. Okay, cannibalistic refers to the secrets of the ritualistic symbolism. So even as a Mason, you may find that word cannibalistic, which represents the secret of the ritualistic symbolism. Okay, originally cannibal was a system of occult theory. Let me see, not theories. Well, yeah, okay. It was a system of occult theories. All right. Hear me clearly. Now listen what it's saying, bruh. And sister, listen to what it's saying. It says the term cannibalistic reflects the secret of ritualistic symbolism. Originally, was a system of occult theories. Talk back to me. The mystical interpretation which created by the Jewish rabbi. So look, the Jews even had their hand in that. I'm just saying. Some stuff you just got to go get. That's real. The star has the appearance of a satanic star. All right, Brother Michael Johnson. Okay, I can get down with that. All right. So let's move on. So that's dealing with the cannibalistic. And even in the Eastern Star, they have a cannibalistic word. Okay. So when you think about the Eastern Star, Brother Matt asks for what you finna go to. Now let me tell you this here. For every point of the star, there's a password. All right. They already got 5 up on you. For every point of the star, there's a password. Okay. I'll leave it at that. You'll get yours when you go through it, brother. You'll get it. Oh, Brother Evans, greetings, and welcome aboard. All right. Now, we're going to talk about the cardinal points. Okay, it's what you call the cardinal points. There are 5 points on talk about the cardinal points. Check this out. It says the 4 cardinal points of the compass are directed north, east, south, and west. The cardinal points are used in the symbolic arrangement of the chapter room and in the symbolic arrangement of the signa of the chart. Okay, now check this out. If you are an Eastern Star, and I think I said this before, and I'll say it again, the compass and square is within your 5 points of the star, along with the altar, which represents the male apron or the Masonic apron. Okay, it really does, with the flap up. Okay, now in some cases you can see it with the flap down, but in most cases it is the flap up. So once again, I'm going to say this here: the 5 points of the star. Okay, within it is the compass and square. Okay, and in the center of that, where you may find the G, is actually the Masonic apron. Okay, the altar represents the Masonic apron, just so you know. And if you have an OES book with the star and all that stuff on it, look at it. And brothers, you look at it too, and you will see your apron with the flap up. Hidden in plain sight. I'm just sharing some stuff with you. This is just stuff that is hidden in plain sight. So I know there's some cowards and some eavesdropper popping in tonight, probably want to pick up some information, and they can have that. But see, what they can have is the experience of being initiated into the order of the Eastern Star. What they can have is the experience of being initiated, passed, and raised. Now, you may have these little things I'm throwing out, but until you're able to take that and put that together, you can have it all. They're just like giving somebody directions to a place they've never been before, and when they get there, they'll be surprised as hell. I'm just saying. Take that and let it alone. So, all right. So, we're going to look at the central jewel. The central jewel. Woo. Okay, the central jewel. Every officer in the Order of the Eastern Star represents an attribute or quality, which in itself is like a jewel. The officers of the 5 herons are placed in the center of the chapter room and are therefore with reference to the central jewel. Adah, Ruth, Esther, Martha, and Electa. They are what you call the center jewel. Okay, all of them together is the central jewel of the chapter. Okay, that's what they are. Probably never heard it before, or you may already know, but that's truly what they are. So if you want to hit somebody up, you might want to say, what is the central jewels of the chapter? I'm just throwing it out there. But be prepared to answer the question correctly, because they're going to come back at you. I'm just saying, they're going to come back at you. So you might as well get it in where you fit in at, because if you ask the right sister the right question, you might get your heart hurt. So it's best that if you are looking at becoming an Eastern Star, just go ahead and just get involved with the chapter, brothers, and do that. I'm just giving you a little information so you can take that and really consider becoming an Eastern Star. Just really consider that. All right? So, what else I want to share with you real quick? All right, so the circle. Now, in the Masonic or the lodge, we talk about the circle, right? We talk about the point in the circle, right? Now, the Eastern Stars also talk about a circle. They do. They also talk about a circle. So let me drop this on you tonight. So technically, a circle is a curve, okay? A circle is a curve, which has been closed. All points of the circle are the same on the same plane, and all points are equal distance from the middle of the point, which is called the center. The center. This is why if you see the emblem of the Eastern Star, you may see a circle around it. And in the circle is called the center. And who is the center of the circle in the order of the Eastern Star? Those 5 points. I'm just saying. That's how we're getting down tonight. The circle is associated in the meaning with perfection. Okay? So the Eastern Star, when you look at the Eastern Star, it is the perfection of their circle because those 5 points are the centerpiece of that circle. Okay? And within that circle is a point. All right? Now that point is the altar. The altar, which represents the Masonic apron in a sense, with the flap up. I'm just giving it to you. All right? I'm trusting you, bro. Yeah, bro, trust me. We're gonna be all right. Trust me, bro. You're gonna like this. If they do it right, man, if I can be there, bro, if I can be at your initiation, oh yeah, suck it, suck it. For sure. So let's get on down. All right. So you follow me on that? I'm just saying. So it goes on and says the circle is associated with eternity. In eternity life, the circle has neither a beginning nor end. The winding of the labyrinth, Brother Maddox, the winding of the labyrinth, as well as the final march, includes the circle. First, about the single virtue. Second circle encompass the cardinal virtues is made. The representation, the ideal life, which is inclusive of all virtues. The circle is inclusive of everything we're talking about doing, especially on the Masonic side and also on the Eastern Star side. Okay? That's what it all boils down to. All right? Now, remember when I was talking about the conductress? You heard me talk about the conductress? That's another officer in the chapter, the conductress. The emblem of the conductor is the scroll and the baton. There's a scroll and the baton, okay? That is her emblem, okay? The jewel of office of the conductors within the representation of the scroll and baton symbolizes the necessities for making worthy and workable plans. Now, worthy and workable plans. Now, in the Blue Lodge, we often talk about the trestle board. That is your connection with the conductress. The trestle board is connected to the conductress because the conductress symbol is the scroll and the baton. And when you have a scroll, you roll it out, you put your plans for the day on it. And if you use the trestle board, that's the same thing. Okay? The same thing. So when you look at it from that point of view, you're looking at a workable plan and the necessity for fulfilling those plans carefully as well. So the jewel of office is the emblem of the scroll and the baton. Okay? The scroll and the baton, which reminds a brother of the trestle board. So that's how we get down tonight. All right? Boy, I tell you the truth. I hope that you're getting some out of this. Somebody need to talk back to me now. I'm just wanting to encourage you that you need to go and become an Eastern Star, start playing so you can have them deep conversations with the sisters about their degree work. You know? And I'm gonna share something else with you tonight too before I get away. So what happens is that when you're dealing with the sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star, right? How many of you know how to greet a sister? Besides saying that's my sister because you see the 5 points of star. There should be a certain way that you should know how to greet the sisters. Okay? The sisters have a grip just like the brothers have a grip. As a matter of fact, in the earlier days of the Order of the Eastern Star, which was in France, they was called a lodge. Okay? The Order of the Eastern Star that we have in the United States was came out of France. It was just redubbed. You know how somebody mix some stuff up, like a remix? It's a remix. That's what it is. The Eastern Star is just like being a Mason. They have their own grips, their own signs, their own words. Okay? The difference is that in the Eastern Star, a man can be an Eastern Star, but here in the United States, a woman cannot be a Mason. But if you go overseas, you would not find Eastern Stars, but you will find nothing but Masons, be it male or female. I'm just saying. Now, you can accept it or let it alone, but I tell you what, within due time, Within due times, the Grand Lodge of England, for those of you who like to always quote the Grand Lodge of England, your mother, in due time, not your Grand Lodge, but your mother, is going to allow women's into their Grand Lodge within due time. I would say within the next 2 or 3 years. Oh, you don't believe me, huh? Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying within the next 2 to 3 years, women will be allowed to sit in lodge, Grand Lodge of England. Period. If I'm wrong, I'll take that, but I doubt it. Not the way things are popping off right now. Nope. Now, what you gonna do when that happens? And that's gonna lead into my next conversation. What is that going to do for those Grand Lodges that holds the United Grand Lodge of England in such a high esteem? What is that going to do to you? Are you willing to pull recognition from the Grand Lodge of England when they began to, and they will begin to recognize female Masons? What are you going to do? They are your mother Grand Lodge. I'm just saying, what are you going to do? Now, I can speak on behalf of John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California because I'm the sitting ambassador of state. So I can speak on that. However, what is your Grand Lodge going to do? If you have recognition with the Grand Lodge of England, and then they flip this thing and they begin to recognize female Masons, what is your Grand Lodge going to pull recognition? I'm just saying, because it's going to happen. So with that being said, let's go into my next topic. All right, my next topic is going to deal with free thinking. Free thinking, because we call ourselves Freemasons, or some may not consider me a Freemason, but I'm going to flip that whole thing tonight, because when you become a Freemason, okay, when you take the obligation and oath as an enter-apprentice, that makes you a Mason. Period. You just can't have a Masonic burial because you're too busy occupying your mind with useful knowledge, right? Same thing goes for a fellowcraft. You cannot have a Masonic burial, brothers. No. Nope, that's not going to happen for you. Even though you have been initiated and passed, you're not getting that Masonic burial. So that leads me to this. It says, as a Mason, you come on your own free will and accord, right? If you come on your own free will and accord for what you say you do that, then tell me this, why can't you think for yourself? That's all I'm asking. Freemasons think for themselves. That's what they do, okay? Freemasons think for themselves. Freemasons abide by the rules of their Grand Lodge, okay? They do. But on the outside of that, they think for themselves. Freemasons are men of good repute, right? That's what they're supposed to be. Man of good repute. You're supposed to be a man that has a job, a man that is taking care of his family, or taking care of yourself. This is what you're supposed to be all about. But like my brother Chris Jackson says, some of y'all are just moist. You're not able to do that. You're looking for a handout and not a hand. Okay? You're looking for a handout and not a hand. You catch that on the way home. I need to start my Masonic and OES library. How can I start both? John G. Jones and PHA, because you are full of... Oh, bruh. Okay, so I tell you this here. When I started my library, anytime somebody gave a lecture on paper, I kept it. I put it in the little slips, and I go back every now and then and I read the stuff. And then I started putting together my own lectures, all right? And then I started giving lectures in lodges and chapters. And this is how you begin to build up your library, okay? And like I said before, go and get books. When you become an Eastern Star, you want to know what is this thing called the Eastern Star is all about. Go find you some nice books on the Order of Eastern Star. And I'm quite sure there's some sisters out there who can really really give you some good books on the Order of the Eastern Star. I have a few that I'll share. One of them is the Symbolism of the Order of the Eastern Star. That's a good book to have. Also, one is called the Early History of the Order of the Eastern Star. That's another one. And it really breaks down where the Eastern Star comes from. You know, those are just two good books I would recommend right off the top if you're looking at anything. And see what books do your jurisdiction offers also, and what do they say? What literature is out there? What lectures sisters have done? I would say that there's a few matrons within my jurisdiction, or within the jurisdiction of Garden Eden Grand Chapter here in California. When I go to their chapter meeting, they always have lectures. Okay, they always do, and I like to keep their lectures and put them away. And then it helps me along the way when I'm talking with a sister of the order. I'm able to really have a good conversation with her, not only because I'm initiated in the Order of the Eastern Star, and that's a great, but I understand the works of the Order of the Eastern Star. So that commonality that we have really just push things a little farther along the way when you're talking with the sisters. Now, back to what I was saying in regards to the Freemasons. Okay, it says, what do you come here to do? You come to learn to do your passion, right? And if that is true, then it also asks you some other simple questions, all right? Is it of your own free will and accord? And if it is, then you're saying a whole lot that you're free to go and come as you please. You know, you're free to come and go as you please. Think about that. You're a free thinker. See, Freemasons are meant to think outside the box. You're not meant to be like other thinkers. You're not. Freemasons, if you're a Freemason, you're not meant to be like other thinkers. You're not. And if you believe that you're like other thinkers, you have truly missed the essence of Freemasonry. Because to be free and to think, then you do. Okay? Now, when you think of Masonry, you think of building. Building what? Building knowledge. Shedding light. All right? We know what we say, hey, man, you know, where that light, you know. And if you have if you are a knowledgeable person, but all you want to do is hold your knowledge to yourself, when you die, it goes with you. You didn't do anything with it. You did nothing with it. And I'll say another thing, because I get some comments. I read your comments. For those who like to come on and type, once again, if you want to come on the show, you let me know. Leave me a message. I will welcome you on the show. You don't have to just type. If you have an opinion and you're strong about your opinion, we can have a good conversation. But until then, no, you can take it and let it alone. All right? So, now, you being a Mason and being a free thinker, you should be able to think for yourself, do for yourself, take care of your family, right? Charity, relief, and brotherly love, right? That's what it's all about. Now, let's take a look at this thing we call brotherly love. I had to pull out my book on this one because this is going to get kind of deep, all right? So there's two things you're going to think about. We're going to think about brotherhood and brotherly love. Brotherhood and brotherly love. Now, look, the state of brotherhood is an expression of knowledge. The state of brotherhood is an expression of knowledge, okay? In the belief in the fatherhood of God, okay? In a specific sense, brotherhood is a term used to describe members of one's own fraternity. That's what it does. It describes members of one's own fraternity. Just gonna leave it right there. And we're talking about brotherhood, right? So, next we're gonna talk about brotherly love. Because I think in one of my posts I put brotherly. And the brother was debating, did he say brotherly? Yes, I said brotherly. All right? Because there's something to be said about brotherly instead of brother. Brotherly. Let's look at this. Brotherly love. Brotherly love, right? We say it all the time. Brotherly love. The term brotherly love refers to an expression of one's own love for his fellow man in all levels of relationship. That is the uniqueness of Freemasonry. Think about that. The term brotherly love refers to the expression of one's own love for his fellow man in all levels of relationship. If you didn't know, now you know. That's how it gets down. See, people talk about Freemasonry, but until you indulge yourself in it, you'll never have it. You won't. So you can talk all the glitz and the glow, but until you indulge yourself in that works, you'll never have it. Plain and simple. So somebody needs to talk back to me tonight, because I just wanted to get that in. I wanted to share that information with the sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star. Some may know, some may not know. I wanted to share that with the brothers too, so when you approach a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, that you may also be able to have at least some inkling, some way of communicating with her, you know. In like manners, now she may have an inkling of how to talk to you, because you could talk about the circle. You can also talk about the broken column, because in a degree of the Order of the Eastern Star, there's a broken column, just like it is in the Masons. Okay? That's the 11th commandment. Okay, that's the 11th commandment. You're going to, brother Gilmore, you're going to add more to that when you say that's the 11th commandment. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the 11th commandment, that kind of bypasses me for a second. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, oh yeah, the 11th commandment. No, you don't have to enlighten me. You know, and that's another thing. I believe love one another. Boom. All right, gotcha. You know, and that's another thing. No brother or sister should be embarrassed when they don't know something. If you don't know, you don't know. Freemasonry and Order of the Eastern Star is broad. It's way out here. As far as east is from the west. Okay? As far as east is from the west. You know, when you think about the Order of the Eastern Star and the Freemasons. All right? So when you see it from that point of view, I'm not, if I don't know something, I tell, hey, bro, I don't know. Enlighten me, tell me. And then if you walk away and don't tell me, then you don't know yourself. That's what I get out of that. When the brother say, oh man, I can't. You know why you can't tell me? Because you don't know. And if you knew, then you being a brother or a sister, you would then enlighten me. That's how it's supposed to be getting down. But as they say, you can't handle the truth. You can't handle it. So sometimes you got to let it go. Sometimes you got to let it go. So look, I hope that you was able to get something out of this tonight. And definitely, you know, that's the beauty of the whole fraternal order of the Eastern Star and Freemason, the craft, the sisterhood. You know, it's a beautiful thing. The ideal is for us who are Masons, who are Eastern Stars, and those who even want the petition to come on board. Because what you see on the outside can definitely help us to grow on the inside. You know how you can look into somebody's house and you be like, damn, you know, damn, you know, you looking in, you don't know how to really, you really want to come in, but you kind of, so look, if you're interested in becoming an Eastern Star and you're a young lady, do that. Find, once again, if you are a Mason, or no, if you are an individual who's looking to become a Mason, watch him for a while. You're a sister who's looking to become an Eastern Star, watch their sister for a while. They will let you know whether you're going to go into lodge or whether you want to become a member of that chapter. Bar none. Hey, that's how you get down with that. Because what happens is a lot of us don't know what is a good chapter and what is a good lodge. And I'm going to tell you this here. A good chapter educates its member. A good chapter don't put down other chapters for the work they do. That's a good chapter. A good chapter helps that sister to become successful in whatever she's doing. It supports that sister. It lifts that sister up in the endeavors of life. That's a good chapter. I'm not saying it's a perfect chapter. I said it's a good chapter. Okay, a lodge is the same way. A good lodge, it helps a brother to be a better brother. Okay, and when I say a better brother, you don't. If I find that you're out and you all toe up, I should be able to pull you to the side and take you on home. I should look out for your well-being, not to put you in harm's way. that's a good chapter. I mean, that's a good lodge, you know. And if you're looking to become, find something. If you're interested in becoming a Mason, and you know that John is a Mason, watch John. He's gonna let you know whether he has a good lodge or not by the way he carries himself. And you make your mind up on whether you want to become a member of John's lodge or not. The same thing. If you're watching Zaria, if her name is Zaria, if her name is Becky, whatever her name is, and you want to become an Eastern Star, watch her. And that will let you know if you want to become a member of that chapter or not. That's how you do that. Good evening, Brother Shaheed. Oh, okay. To all travelers and future travelers and my beautiful sisters of the Order of Eastern Star, you doggone Skippy. They are beautiful. And hey, that's another thing. Speaking of beautiful, if you read the story of King Solomon in Sheba, man, ain't nothing like a love story. There's nothing. That's a love story. It'll shock you too. It's a love story. So I would say, yeah, you need to check that out. You know, so you know it is a great thing if you're able to find yourself knocking on the door of Freemasonry. I don't care if it's mainstream lodge. I don't care if it's a Prince Hall, PHO, ancient, free, and accepted, modern, or international. Because to me, all of them are my brothers when I've found them worthy and well qualified, as I am myself. You know, that's where I'm at. Now, if you out doing some foul stuff and I know you to be a Mason or an Eastern Star, I'm gonna let you do you. After I have informed you that, hey, you know what, you need to taper back a little bit. After that, you on your own. That's real. Okay, then you answered that. Okay, quick question. I have been trying to catch you on, but you think of the... Okay, you want to know what I think of the International Free and Accepted Masons? Okay, here's what I think of the International Free and Accepted Masons. If I see them, or if I see one, that's my brother. That's my sister. Period. When I see an International Free and Accepted Mason, I consider them my brother. I consider her my sister. That's how I roll. That's how I get down. With all due respect. I don't have no gripes with them. I don't have no gripes at all. I let them, I appreciate them. I respect them. I fellowship with them. You know, we good. Now, other groups may have issues with them. This Grand Lodge does not. And I can say that. That's the beauty of Freemasonry. See, when you are able to respect other fraternal groups, Grand Lodges, whatever, when you're able to respect them for the work that they put in, and they do, that's what separates this jurisdiction that I'm in. We're able to do that. And that's why I'm here. You know, you have to ask yourself sometimes, why did you join the jurisdiction you're in? You know, are you able to travel in foreign countries and receive master wages and such? Are you able to visit any lodge that you want to? Now, granted, every lodge and jurisdiction have their rules and regulations, which forbids other jurisdictions from visitation. You respect that. But as a Mason and as a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, do you take advantage of the fact that you can travel, that you can visit outside of your jurisdiction? You need to take advantage of that. And I'm going to say this here. If you are a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star and you are working up under the Grand Lodge of Prince Hall in any state, and you have not visited a chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star under mainstream Grand Lodge? What are you trying to say? I just want you to think about it. Once again, not yet visited a mainstream chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star. What you waiting on? Are you afraid? Are you scared? Tell me, are you scared, sister, to go visit other chapters? Are you afraid that you may not be knowing the work? I think some brothers like that too. I think some brothers are afraid to travel because they don't know the work. They'll tell you quick, you can't come visit me, but because your door is open to them, see? But they're afraid. They don't know the work. They say, well, my Grand Lodge says they don't recognize you. Okay. And that means I can't come visit, but you're a free Mason. Don't break the rules of your organization. I'm just saying, you are a free Mason. This is why in this jurisdiction, we practice those ancient customs of Freemasonry. Meaning that if a brother is vouched for, and a brother goes past the titler, and the brother does what he's supposed to do in the process of visiting, and he can prove that he's a brother of the order, then he has a right to visit. That's just ancient customs, one-on-one. Oh, bruh, don't be afraid to travel. Don't do that to yourself. Just this past weekend, I was with the Hispanic brothers, Centennial Lodge number 7. We had a great time. And I got my application to become an odd fella. Yeah, Brother Hawkins, an odd fella. Yeah, for real. I got my application. So don't be afraid to travel. Oh, don't even worry about being rejected. No. See, here's the thing. For me, this is what I do. If I'm going to be traveling, right, I would then give that lodge a call. I will give them my name. I will give them my jurisdiction. And then they can make the decision whether I can visit it or not. Plain and simple. It's not even complicated. If they tell me, no, Brother Hawkins, you can't visit because your name or your lodge name or you're not booked in regards to recognition, I'm okay with that. Now, if a master of that lodge, a Worshipful Master, a junior warden, or a member of that lodge invites me to come sit, and I go, more than likely you're going to get in. You know why? Because somebody vouched for you. You know, somebody vouched for you. And that's part of the ancient customs too, is that a person vouches for you when you go visit lodges. You know, in my own reading, this is what I come across, is the reason why they call it ancient, free, and accepted Masons, because of the ancient customs. And you got to ask yourself, so where did these customs come from that we call ancient customs? Just because you may find something in literature, you have to go, you really have to dig deep, you know, to find a lot of stuff. And I tell you, a good book, and I think I said it before, is Haram's Key is a good book to look into. It referenced the fact that Christ, okay, and St. John, it referenced Christ and John the Baptist as being part of a secret society. And they break it down and they tell you the reason why they came to that part. And I like that. I think there's not enough brothers teaching true Masonry. There's a concern about clandestine, irregular, etc. But we Freemason walk in the same steps. That is. Well, the ideal is we supposed to walk in the same steps. But see, some people's steps are a little bit crooked. And when I say the steps are crooked, is even though you may not be allowed to visit their lodge, that's null and void. That's not even the steps. The process is, as I've always stated, is the fact that you should respect each other. And when you can't do that, then you must leave that alone. This is why earlier I think a brother said, he wanted to talk about John G. Jones and Prince Hall. We can have the conversation, it's cool, but really, in all sense of the conversation, why have it? I mean, you're talking about 100 and some years of disagreement. I'm done with that, But if you want to talk about it from a historical point of view, we can have the conversation. That's cool. I'm all right with that. And if you just want to hold the conversation, I'm okay with that. But you must understand. Brother asked me, well, why wouldn't I want to join a mainstream Grand Lodge? And I'm going to tell you why I don't want to join mainstream Grand Lodges, even though there are some good brothers there. There are some good brothers in mainstream Grand Lodges, okay? There are some good brothers in Prince Hall. There's some good brothers in International, Modern Free, PHO, Ancient Free, and there are good brothers in all of the various jurisdictions. I just chose this jurisdiction because of those brothers I first contacted with and the love that they showed me. And the teachings that they gave me was universal. Okay? That's what I got here. I didn't get any separation points of views. I was never told who I couldn't talk to and where I couldn't go. I was never told that. If a brother carried himself as he should, if a sister carried herself as she should, I was never told not to talk to them. I was always told to carry myself with respect the next person, agree to disagree, but in the process, you always give respect. Now, that's what I was taught in my lodge. Plain and simple. Congratulations, brother. The Oddfellows is another legendary extension of the Masonic order. Yes, sir. And I'm looking forward to that experience. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be one that I'm not going to regret, And I'll tell you this here. Starting in the coming year, the 2019, I'm going to be doing a little bit extra in my videos. I'm going to see if you can catch the extra stuff I do. I'm not going to tell you when I do it, but when I do it, you should know what I'm doing. Once again, I'm going to do a little extra stuff in my videos. And when I do it, you should be able to catch it. Okay? If you are a Mason. If you're a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. The stuff I'm going to be doing next year, you should be able to catch it. I'm just doing something out there. That's a jewel I'm going to be doing, and you should be able to catch that. That's going to be fun. I heard you speak on Black, Ancient, Free, and Accepted Mason. Is that another branch? No. Black, Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons is the fact that I'm Black. I practice the ancient customs of Free and Accepted Masons. Black, Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons. That's the terminology that came up. That was first coined by Christopher Taft out of his book Freemo. Brother Christopher Taft is a brother from St. Joseph Grand Lodge out of Texas. They've been around for a very long time. I think about maybe close to 100 years or more. He was the first person I heard to coin that and use it in his book. And I've used it. Quite a few other people have used it. Some have taken it and put the red, the black, and the green behind it. Black, Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons is what I am. That's it, bro. That's it. Practice the ancient customs. And that's how we get down. So, and those of you who are in the ascending bodies, the York Rite and the Scottish Rite, I'm going to also start to include those in my up and coming shows. We're going to talk about the Mark Master, the most excellent master. We're going to talk about we're going to just talk about the York Rite, the Scottish Rite, and the various degrees, the Lodge of Perfections, the Consistory, some of those degrees, of the Royal Arch, which is on the York Rite and Scottish Rite side. So we're going to be talking about all of that. So I can't wait to next year come along as we proceed to end 2019. I'm looking for, I'm looking to do some things. I'm looking to definitely broaden my horizon. I've definitely already started to set aside a trip that I'm going to be taking here real soon outside of the country. I'm going to be, I'm getting ready to leave for a minute and do some traveling, masonically travel. Hey, bro. Okay, hey, brother. Remember when the other brother said that if you leave ancient free and accepted Mason, become PHA, you have to renounce all of your degrees. That's halfway true. We kept all our degrees up to the Master Mason. Okay, great. But see, here's the thing. If I've been initiated, passed, and raised, and I go to a whole entire jurisdiction, you can't do that to me again. I already know everything. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Way down in the valley deep, the signified monkey stepped on the elephant feet. Boy, y'all tell y'all the truth. Y'all bringing out that Dolomite tonight. Yes, I do. I have both sides, York Rite and Scottish Rite. I sure do. So let me tell you another thing. So if anybody ever comes to you and you ask them in regards to jurisdiction wise, they say, oh, I'm Scottish Rite. If you are a Scottish Rite Mason, you must have taken the Scottish Rite degrees and oaths and initiations on the Scottish Rite side in order to call yourself Scottish Rite. Just because you are ancient, free, and accepted Masons, it doesn't make you Scottish Rite. It does not make you Scottish Rite. Let me clear this up again. If you have taken the degree work on the Scottish Rite side, initiated, went through the process, you are crowned a 32nd on the Scottish Rite side, you've gone to the LOP, you've done those degree works, you've done, boom. That makes you a Scottish Rite Mason, just as it would make you a York Rite Mason if you did that same work. But to tell somebody, just because you are free and accepted, doesn't make you York Rite. It doesn't. It doesn't make you Scottish Rite just because you're ancient, free, and accepted. It doesn't. It just says that you practice the ancient, free, and accepted customs. Or it may say that your Grand Lodge, okay, has its lineage to a Grand Lodge that is ancient, free, and accepted Masons overseas somewhere. Because most Grand Lodges adopt a marquee. Most Grand Lodges adopt a marquee, just like PHA in the earlier days of Freemason was ancient, free, and accepted Masons. They later changed that to free and accepted Masons. They adopted that marquee, period. Just like most Grand Lodges that are ancient, free, and accepted Masons and are black adopt or adapt the ancient, free, and accepted marquee. It has nothing to do with any Grand Lodge across seas. And just because somebody may say, hey, you know, your lineage don't come from here, you can't use it, or you're not recognized. That's a bunch of bull stuff. Just because Grand Lodges use that marquee, it has nothing to do with lineage. Okay? Nothing at all to do with lineage. People would tell you because your lineage is not from this jurisdiction or not from here, it makes you clandestine. That's a false, that's a lie. Okay? Hear me clearly. That's a lie. And I can prove it. Okay, let me drop it to you like this here. Okay? So, the Grand Lodge of England, which some say is the Mother Grand Lodge, right? Some say that. Okay, then what they do is they say if you can't trace your history to the Grand Lodge of England, okay, not the United Grand Lodge of England, but the Grand Lodge of England, all right, then you're considered clandestine. That's a lie, because Grand Lodges here in the United States, a lot of them, state mainstream Grand Lodges, cannot trace their history to the Grand Lodge of England. So that's a lie. Okay? Like the Grand Lodge of New Jersey. They can't trace their Grand Lodge history lineage to the Grand Lodge of England. They can't do it. You know why they can't do it? Because it was only like 3 or 4 of them that organized the Grand Lodge of New Jersey. Boom. I'm just saying. So when somebody want to come up to you and say, oh, if your history, nah, man, don't even debate that. All right. If you're going to discuss Freemason with somebody, do it on an intelligent level, because you telling somebody else that their history, know your own history and leave other people's history alone. That's how you need to do that. Oh, wow, I'm missing all this. That's why my old grandmaster said, we already know the work, so we shouldn't have to go through it again. Woo. I was only a 5-degree Mason anyway, so even though I lost 2 degrees, I would get them back real fast. That's right. That's right. I'm keeping my keystone. Keep your keystone. Keep your keystone. For real. Who? Brother Lee Hall, you got the who. What's the who? Wait a minute, brother asking me, am I PHA or PHO? I'm neither. I'm neither PHO or PHA. You know what I am? I am a Mason. I have been initiated, passed, and raised. Period. That's what I am. And also I'm a black man who loves my people. I hope that answers your question. I know where you was trying to go, but it ain't about that. This page right here is not about PHO. It's not about Prince Hall. It's not about International, Modern, Free. It is about the Order of the Eastern Star and Freemason. This platform is open to all who wants to know something about the organization itself. That's what this platform is about. And yes, I am a Mason, period. And it's not to be all puffed up and everything, but that PHO, PHA, John G. Jones International thing, that's a waste of energy. Better with that by educating my brothers and my sister in regards to the degree work. That's what I'm getting down at. Oh, it's cool. I don't. You know what? I don't mean to come at you like that. If I came at you kind of harsh, my apologies first off. But you know what? My thing is that everything I got, I want to share it. The knowledge I want to share it. The knowledge I have, I want to give it away because I can't take it with me. I want to give it away because I can't take it with me. So, John G. Jones Research Lodge number 147 is all about that. We were about doing Masonic and Eastern Star research, and we just put it out there. And like I said, on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock on the West Coast, probably be a little late for you brothers on the East Coast. If you want to join us on conference call, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to join us on conference call every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Brother Barry will be hosting it, and we can get down. If it's a continuous of the third, why not just put 433 and the 1/3, 1 through 3 degrees? Okay, so check this out. In Louisiana, there's the Supreme Council of Louisiana, okay? They practice Scottish Rite Freemasonry, 1 through 33. They're the only Supreme Council I know that does it. That is the same Supreme Council that Albert Pike was a member of at one time. It's the same Supreme Council that John G. Jones had an affiliation with from out of Louisiana. It is one of the oldest Supreme Councils in the United States. One of the oldest. It's older than Jones, Southern and Western Masonic Jurisdiction Supreme Council. And it's also older than Prince Hall Supreme Council. Ooh, now ask me how I know. And I'll tell you. It's in McCoy's Masonic Encyclopedia. You can find it. In McCoy's Masonic Encyclopedia, 1961. It is page 439. Page 439 on the Negro Masonry. you will find that Supreme Council. It is still living and breathing in New Orleans, Louisiana. Like I said, Pike was a member of that Supreme Council. That was an all-white Supreme Council at one time. But when the brothers started to come in, it became all black. It did. Yeah, it did. And you can look that up for yourself. Those degrees which are the foundation are deep. Yeah, that 1, 2, 3 degree, it is deep. But I tell you what, so the first, second, and third degree, as I've said before, is just like being in high school, okay? Your college degrees are your philosophy degrees, which is on the infallible degrees or the philosophy degrees. The infallible degrees are considered your York Rite. The philosophy degrees are considered your Scottish Rite. Depends on your religious doctrine. You're going to either go York Rite or Scottish Rite. And most people who are of Jewish faith go Scottish Rite. They don't even touch the York Rite, because in the York Rite degree work, it deals with biblical analysis, okay, of the New and Old Testament. It talks about the second and third building of the temple. Now, if you're up to date on a lot of historical stuff, you then know that right now over in Israel, they're talking about rebuilding the temple again. And if you know about Masonic doctrine, it tells you that the second temple was destroyed during the time of Nebuchadnezzar. Take that or let it alone. That's a fact. They're talking about redoing the temple and doing sacrifices again over in Israel. It's truth. All you gotta do is just take your time and start researching some stuff. You'd be shocked at shit you find. And I'm talking about facts. So when you're going into this degree work on the York Rite side, okay, it deals with sacrifices because it talks about the high priest, all right? And then the high priest has the tablets with the emblems of the 12 tribes, okay? Now, if you know anything about the Old Testament, the lamb was used for sacrifices, okay? Because according to what they say in the Bible, God likes the smell of blood. Okay? So what they would do is they would then tie a cord on the ankles of the high priest. So when he went into the tent in front of Yahweh, he had to make sure that he was pure and innocent, right? So he took in, and you see the Pope doing the same thing. As the Pope comes forth, you see the cardinals and the bishops, they be having that incense thing swinging, right? Be swinging an incense, right? That's all biblical. And not only is it biblical, as if you know anything about the Egyptian culture, they did the same thing. You know that honeycomb that sits on that? Go check it out. So look, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Oh, the tabernacle. Yes, the tabernacle. So I'm going to finish the story up. So what they did was, when the high priest went in to offer the sacrifice and he went in for prayer, and you know the little bells? He had bells on him. So they knew that when he walked, that you would hear the bells. When the bells didn't ring or didn't make any noise, they knew that he was not clean. He dropped dead. Boom. In the holy, in the tent, okay, in the tent, what you find is the cherubim, or the Ark of the Covenant is in the tent. And there are two cherubims, okay? Now, if you're in the Master Mason degree, you would know that you go from the outer court, inner court, the holies of holies. I'm just saying. And then once you enter the holies of holies, you will see an arch. And on the arch, you will see a keystone, okay? There's a keystone, you know? There's a keystone. I'm just saying. And this is why you don't really complete your degree work until you become a Royal Archmason. That's true. No, that's fact. Because what they did is that they when I say they, I'm going to say the Grand Lodge of England, because we practice a colonized type of Freemasonry. Okay, so what they did is separated the Royal Arch degree from the Master Mason degree. The Master Mason degree and the Royal Arch degree is the same degree. It actually, you don't complete that degree. As a matter of fact, it's not only a truth, it's a fact. Okay, it's a fact. So once you have been initiated, passed, and raised, like I said, most people don't mess with most people who are of the faith of the Jewish faith. They don't mess with the Royal Arch. They go Scottish Rite, philosophy. When you go York Rite, it's more of a Christian type of heritage, even though it deals with the Old Testament and the New Testament. Okay, the York Rite deal with Old and New Testament. Scottish Rite deals with philosophy. That's where that's at. HTT. 3 times. Yeah, 3 times 3 on the 11 arc. Oh, no doubt. I remember you say that the Sphinx was a place where the high priest yes, it is. You need to ask yourself, where did Christ go for 40 days? He wasn't considered a high priest until he came back and began his ministry. He, in my personal opinion, the legend of Christ, when he went into the wilderness, he went to be initiated. He did. He went to be initiated. You know, that's my own personal opinion from the information I've done, from the stuff I've come across, from my own reading. That's my conclusion. Your conclusion may be something else, but I'm telling you, from what I've read, from what I've gathered, literature-wise, from what's been, I've come to their conclusion that he was initiated, and that's how he became a high priest. You know? Okay, you said Christ was an Egyptian until he was 12. Why was he an Egyptian until he was 12? Because if you're an Egyptian until you're 12, you can't change. I can't say I'm a black man until I'm 12, bro. I can't say that. So enlighten me when you say he was an Egyptian until he was 12. Because I do know, just as you say, I would say this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that he had to leave, right? His family had to take him and hide amongst those that looked like him. You know what I mean? He was a black boy. He was a little kid. He was black. Jesus was black. And he had to leave and go down into Egypt to hide amongst his people until the killing was over. Period. That's a fact according to Scripture. You could take that and let it alone. I'm almost done. You got to put me hanging. You just got Christ was Egyptian until he was 12. And then what? What happened? Oh, okay. Prince Finley, I think you may have to, bro. Think you may have to check it out again. So look, been on 124. I hope you got something out of this. Remember this. I'm a new Master Mason watching your show. Can you tell me a little bit about what? You just coming on tonight, bro. I've been on here for an hour and 24 minutes. So what do you want me to tell you? A little bit about what, brother? Francis, what do you want me to tell you? You know, you got to tell me, because if you're saying tell you a little bit, you know, I need to know where you want to go. Do you want to go esoteric or esoteric? Do you want me to discuss some things on the working tools? Where do you want to go with that? I know what you're in search of, but where do you want to go? His childhood story is taken away, but the story tells that he found teaching in a temple. Oh yeah, he was teaching in a temple. Of course, he was 12 years old. You know, when his mother and father Joseph went down to Egypt, and then it was on the way back, and his father was like, "Hey, you seen Jesus? Where's he at?" Oh, they started looking for him and had to go back, and hey, he was in a temple teaching. There's nothing wrong with that. But when he got older, he had to leave. Remember, he went and fasted 40 days and 40 nights. That was his initiation process. Oh, bro, that's I can go esoteric, and bro, we'll be here all night. But I'll tell you, I'll give you these little tidbits. All right. So you're just now being raised to the sublime degree of a master mason. Consider the moon and the stars your beginning to the esoteric side of things. Because right now, as we look at this thing, we're leaving out of the Aquarius. We are now in the time of the Aquarius. We're going to be leaving out of that, and we're going to go into another time of zodiac. You know, the person with the pitcher jug, you're pouring out the water. Remember that? Think about it. What zodiac has the man with the pitcher pouring out the water? That's what we're headed to now, a time of enlightenment. I'm just saying. So when you have that opportunity, new Master Mason, take your time and look into the stars, and you will find that what you're looking for. Just have to throw that out. I can't tell you, Eric. I can't. Some things you just got to go get for yourself. Oh, it says, Tony, I need some esoteric Freemasonry in the Bible. Oh, bro, well, see, in my opinion, because I encourage everybody to go read and find stuff for themselves, in my opinion, the Bible itself is allegories and stories. It's allegories and stories. You need to take those stories and apply them to your life. Okay? Now, Christ, as we know it, that, people wrote about this, people wrote about Christ, okay? And how he lived his life, okay? And then it wrote about John the Baptist and the things that he did. But John and Christ was part of the Essenes. I'm not mispronouncing that word. It is the Essenes. And the Essenes was a secret society. And they all dressed a certain way. That's what they did. So if you go and research the Essenes, you will find that there was this secret organization, and they talked among the public, and then at night they went and discussed things amongst themselves. Just saying. For the new Master Mason, always keep the brother on the first degree. Oh, yeah. And try to master the first degree. Of course. Yes, Christ wasn't Essene. And some say Essene, E-S. Okay. Brother, what's up? You need to talk to me?
No, I told you I was coming back to vacuum, but I see you already did it.
Yeah, that's what you do. You vacuum, you clean up, you get it done. It's over.
I told you I was going to come back.
I know that. I'm glad you came back, but I'm talking right now.
Can I let Rocky in the house? It's cold outside.
Yeah, when I come in, he'll come in. So, let me see. Yep. All right. So look, it's about 1:29 in. I hope everybody was able to get something from this today. And I'm going to continue on. And we're going to make it do what it do. Ooh, I didn't see that up here. So I have to be on it. Mastering the first degree is a journey within itself. Yes, it is. No, Brother Taylor, that was not my wife right then. That was my daughter. I want my wife to come bring me some more. This is Kool-Aid tonight, but I'm done. So since I'm done with the Kool-Aid, I should be done with y'all tonight, bro. Yeah, man. Oh, it's 9 o'clock on the West Coast. Ooh-wee. Y'all should be in bed by now. It's got to be at least 11 or 12 o'clock. Oh, which books can you read as a new master? Symbolism of Freemasonry. You know, Symbolism of Freemasonry is a good book for you to have. Oh, Brother Cook. Oh, my daughter's going to kick my butt. Come here. Say hello.
Hi.
That's my daughter. She's not going to kick my butt. I just had 2 tires on her car done. Ain't no kicking no butt here
I
tonight.
appreciate you so much for that, Daddy.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
yeah.
love you.
I need some Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Okay. It's not in the refrigerator.
Where is it?
It's on my bar. It's red.
This ain't Kool-Aid.
It's Kool-Aid. I always drink
I
Kool-Aid.
don't trust you.
My daughter said
Your different
she don't
concoctions.
trust me. Oh, bring me some Kool-Aid.
Come
You
on,
know,
Rocky.
bring me some Kool-Aid.
Come on.
Oh, see, now you go. She got a cute smile. I ain't messing with y'all tonight, boy. I tell you the truth. Boy, y'all no good. She's in that woman's group. Oh, boy, you guys got me cracking up. Got me rolling. But certainly, it has been a journey. I'm looking forward to next year. Y'all just don't even know. So I'm going to let you in on this. So here's where I'm getting ready to travel to. I'm getting ready to leave and go. Yes. You need ice, though.
This ain't Kool-Aid.
That's Kool-Aid. You got to shut my door. I'm in my study, and they, you know, this is my thing. I'm in my study, you know, and they want to come in here and bother me. But certainly, I'm getting ready to this year, bruh, hear me clearly. I'm traveling to Cuba this year, and I'll be down in Miami. I'm taking 3 weeks, and I'm doing the thing. So, you know, watch me. And, it's going to be a journey this year coming up. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know if I can bring back any cigars or not, but I got to do Cuba this year. I've already talked to the missus. We're getting ready to make it happen, and I'm really amped. I'm really excited about going. And by my being in Illinois Prince Hall, we are all journeying to building. Oh, that's for sure. Oh, that's Uncle Brock. Hey, black man. Black man, let me holler right back at you in a minute.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Yep, I might be able to stay on a little bit long. I got my Kool-Aid. I might be able to stay on just a little bit long. That's some good Kool-Aid. I'm just saying. So look, I really gotta go. This has been fun. I really gotta go. I'm reading the Master's Key, the system. What do you think? Oh, yeah. Get down on it. Read the Master's Key. You know, do it. You know, don't short yourself. If you're an Eastern Star, a Mason, don't short yourself on your reading. See, here's the unique thing about being part of this organization. You have been initiated into it. Okay? You have walked the labyrinth of life, and your job is to become knowledgeable about the organization. Your job is to show other people what it's all about being part of this organization. If you cannot tell somebody what it is to be a Mason or Eastern Star, why are you even a member? If I come to you and I'm a new and I don't know nothing about the organization, and the first thing you tell me, oh, well, I can't talk to you right now. That, you know what you're telling me is that you don't even know yourself. That's what you're saying. You don't know yourself. Why are you a part of this organization? Now, I can give you my own personal journey. You know, I'm part of the organization because of those who I came along and I met. In Freemasonry, you never know who you're going to come across. And the journey is real. Everything is hidden in plain sight. Let me tell you that. See, a lot of people play the game. Oh, I'm a Freemason. You know, I'm hanging out with the guys. You know, I'm doing this. No, this is a serious organization. It is. It really and truly is. The process is how do you carry yourself along the journey? Because there's going to be some good times, some bad times, some sad times, some great times. There's just going to be that moment in time. But the organization as a whole, outside of your lodge, outside of your jurisdiction, man, it is awesome. See, I had to recently 5 points. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was restudying the first degree and didn't realize we had points. What? Brother Shaheed ought to hit you in the head. How can you tell me that? You. That dog gonna cry. Then he ran into the door. Look at that. Look.
It's like boom. I'm out, Daddy.
You have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's your Christmas present.
I know.
Yeah.
Told me.
Yeah. See? Yeah, sometimes you have to let kids figure stuff out for their own. And then they can't even figure it out.
Okay.
So, I'll holler.
All right. I'll be out here tomorrow.
Yep.
You
Oh,
want him
man.
in the house or no?
Yeah, you can let them in. So, the process, the EA points. Yeah, you got EA points, Fellowcraft points, Master Mason has points. Come on, bruh. Shaheed. Come on, man. You can't be doing me like that. That's life. Yeah. You know? That's right. Oh, man, I lost my thought. My daughter came in and trying to keep with this, I lost my thought. But check it out. So look, I gotta go for real. I really have to go. So Brother Chris Jackson is going to be coming back on. Just for you to know, he's got some information. He definitely want to drop some knowledge on me. So he's going to be coming back on. Hopefully I can have him. Oh, shucks. It's going to have to be after Christmas. Or if I talk to him, it'll probably be Saturday. Yeah, I think I can have him on by Saturday. I think I can have Jackson on by Saturday. Also, I'm going to try and have Brother Dre Jones from HB Turner Grand Lodge, Grand Master out of Texas. Brother can definitely drop some knowledge. I'm talking to him. I got to have him on the show. I've already asked him once, and we talked briefly about it, but I got to have my Brother Dre Jones on the show. Also, if you don't know, now you know. We're going to get ready to cut it. Y'all brothers have a great night, and keep your light on and stay out the bushes. Yes, indeed, you do that. Stay out them bushes. As a matter of fact, my slogan, I just want you to know, I'm going into the year 2019. A candle can light another light. A candle can light another light. So be a candle and light somebody else's light. Be a candle. Pass that light. Pass that knowledge. Do that. Don't just hold it to yourself. Light somebody else's light. So, I'm going to go. As I always say, stay out the bushes. Keep your light on. Boom, 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 baby. Until then, peace and be well. Blessings to your family. And may the Creator keep you as it has kept me. I'm out.